Hey, somebody grab me a Coke Zero? Yeah. Sorry, it's a contract. No, it's definitely not. I'm not Nick Saban. Well, yeah, guys, obviously a great effort by our guys. Really proud of the program. I mean, we knew this is obviously a tough place to play and a great program. And so, yeah, just for us to come out on top means a lot. But, we still got a longer road ahead. So we got to make sure we're locked in and prepared to move forward after this, and we will be. So, but just a great day for our program. And what I'll say, before I get all your guys' questions is, I don't know. I usually don't talk about myself, but I don't know what my coaching career is going to end up at. But I do know one thing: it's going to I'm going to become a better coach coaching against Kelvin Sampson. 100%. I mean, you look at, coaches that kind of set the benchmark in certain areas. And for me, he's one of them. What he's done with this program down here, it's been amazing to me. The kind of run you guys are on right now down here reminds me, where I came from. I was at this little old school called Gonzaga, and, no one really believed, but they had a hell of a head coach just like you have. And the head coach at Gonzaga and the head coach here at Houston have willed these programs to be elite, and that's really inspiring for me.
Questions? Was there anything about like 316 game a few years ago, or the game last year that you really kind of drew on?
I mean, you always learn when you play against people. The more you play against them, and but teams are different year to year. But their program has an identity and our program has an identity. And so you kind of got to figure out, if those identities clash, do you have to make a few adjustments? And we were able to make some adjustments today just in kind of how we moved and spaced the ball a little bit. I thought that alleviated some of the pressure and gave us some space maybe we haven't had before. So just a good job by our coaching staff adjusting. But on the same hand, you want to say, Houston gets credit because if you can make a program like Arizona adjust, I mean, that's the ultimate sign of respect, and that's what we have for them.
We have a mic we'll be passing around if you have questions.
Yeah. LaRon Perron, Coug Radio. Coach, after coming off of back-to-back losses last week and then having 2 quality wins this week, what were some of the focus points from this week's practice that you saw executed well from you guys today?
The message was simple, winning things. Get back to winning things and the things that drive winning. Don't be result oriented. Lock into a process. And so that was it. We really wanted to get back into just kind of our habits and what drives winning. And we've kind of had to change how we play a little bit the last couple of games. Not just because you're playing Houston, but we're a little banged up. We have a couple really good players that aren't playing right now. So these guys that are playing have done a great job making adjustments and just finding a way to win. And yeah, I mean, you're right, because you do lose that tough game at Kansas. You lose a tough game at home against Texas Tech, and then your reward is you have BYU and Houston the next week. I mean, it can get out of control really quick in this conference, and so for us to kind of steady the ship, says a lot about the guys within the program.
What's the key to what you were able to do defensively, especially to their guards? I think Fleming and Sharp.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not crazy into analytics. But analytically, I mean, us in Houston are literally like neck and neck and everything. So we're a really good defensive team too. And our coaches put together a good plan, and we have really good players that went out there and executed it with conviction. And and it just felt like today, there were a couple of stretches in the game where you're on the road and they make a shot or two rattles out, and you're just like, whew. Like that's kind of life on the road sometimes. So we probably got a couple breaks in those scenarios, didn't that? And that happens, when we played at home too against Texas Tech, we had a few. You're like, man, we usually make that shot, but that's how it goes sometimes, and you just have to keep it moving.
Do you think coming in here and getting a road win in a tough environment will help give your team a boost as you guys head towards the tournament?
I don't think any doubt. I mean, there's a lot of ways a game like this gives you a boost. Number one is just confidence and belief and will to find a way. It keeps you in the hunt for a conference championship, which is obviously important. And and I'm sure this is this win doesn't look bad on our resume when it comes down to seeding and you're hoping for matchups in the tournament. I mean, by no means does this win guarantee anything, but it probably doesn't help your prospects moving forward.
Hey, Tommy, good to see you again. this back-to-back games now for Anthony was a big night coming off the bench. With his production, when he's playing like this, what does it help unlock for this team?
Well, he's Delly's he's a spitfire. I don't know how many of you guys know Ozzy's, but Ozzy's got some, what to them, and he has a little bit to them, and it wasn't going his way for a good stretch there a while back, and he hung with it, and our guys hung with him, and the staff hung with him, and I just told Delly, like, just hang in there, it's coming. If there's little adjustments we have to make, we'll see if we can figure them out, but we trust you, we believe in you, and you're going to keep getting opportunities. I don't see any scenario where you don't get opportunities. And then our media, was getting a little worried back home, and I just kept telling them, guys, Delly is going to be at his best when we need him to be at his best. And I think you've seen that the last couple games.
Questions for Ivan as well? Bruce on the far left.
I have one for both of you, but Tommy, just any key to that 12-0 run there in the middle of the second half, and without Tugler, did you?
I mean, I didn't realize, we'd made a 12-0 run. I'd have to go see what it was. I mean, I was just, kind of trying to manage the game possession by possession. So, I guess I had a memory like a goldfish. I mean, if we scored, I probably forgot, and I was just trying to figure out a way. And, we did have a few things that we had success with offensively, and we went back to them back to back, and I'm not always doing that, but today we did, and so it was a good way to control the game down the stretch, and our guys, we missed some free throws early that were probably regretful, but we made most of them late, which was allowed us to kind of keep them at arm's length.
For you as a player, how big was it for you guys to have these 2 wins in a row, especially a win here after those couple of losses?
I mean, winning a game is pretty good, anyways, especially in the Big 12 conference. We knew Houston is a tough, matchup for us, especially we were banged up a little bit, and the 2 losses just didn't taste right in the mouth. So we just, figured it out, fought, and just figured it out and came up top.
Coach in the back, as soon as you come in, you exhale, you ask for a Coke. Is that sort of a way to characterize this game? Is that sort of kind of, man, I need a drink after this one, if you will?
Oh, wow.
He
Bring
needs one
me
after
a
every
cold beer? Actually, don't do much of that during the season. But, I mean, I worked for a guy for a long time, Mark Few, and, he used to call it the cool of the evening. And we love these afternoon games because you put a lot into them, and it's really cool the rest of the night, whether you're on the road or you're at home, you get to hang out with your family. And, I mean, you guys are all fans and or media. I'm sure media, you guys have a little fan in you. That's why you're doing it. And, but us coaches and these players and these staffs put everything they have into these games. So, when you can enjoy great moments, it's really special. But I'll also say this, a lot of us coaches have a little bit of a sickness. You lose a couple games, you're actually probably doing okay because you get to figure things out. And there's nothing cooler than accepting a challenge when things get tough and trying to help your group figure it out. I mean, that's really what is probably the most enjoyable part of coaching, even though it comes with a little bit of pain.
Last one here on the right.
Ivan, this is for you. I know you guys love the McKell Center, but when you think about what you guys have accomplished this season at UConn, at BYU, now here at Houston, among some other places, just how satisfying is it to be able to get wins like this on the road, especially in tough environments?
Like I said at the beginning of the season, I love playing in tough environments, at home or on the road, and especially on the road, it's nice because like after the game, all the fans just leave. And the gym gets real quiet, and then you did your job right. No more talking after that. So there's of course a satisfaction to that, knowing that coming home or going to the next game, you want to do it again or celebrate it with your own fans.
Thank you. Sure.
Guys, just thoughts on the Big 12 race, the gauntlet of this season, and just kind of where you guys are kind of looking ahead at this point, too.
Well, we got a lot. We got a tough schedule. I mean, we got at Baylor. Then I don't know what order it is. Kansas and Iowa State at home on a Saturday, Monday, and then we got to go on the road to Colorado. And I mean, I told our guys, you know, obviously we want to win the Big 12, you know, but you know what's really cool about being in the Big 12, you can take second or third in the conference and still win the national championship. I mean, the conference is that strong. So we put ourselves in position to be in position. Now you got to go take advantage of it. And so we'll start on our Baylor prep tonight, and you know, that's the task at hand now is moving on from this one and getting ready for Baylor, and you know, trying to mend our wounded bodies and try to find a way to get a tough, you know, road win in a tough environment. Thanks, guys.